Hello, Gemini. I'm Karma. Thanks for joining me. Karma on deck. I'm a psychic here in Las Vegas. I want to do a tarot reading for you. So this is your February 17th through 23rd reading. Let's see what's going on for Gemini. So this right here is my dragon deck, Dragon Tarot. This deck typically talks about our decisions, our money, our projects, our finance, and work environment. So let's see what's going on for Gemini. One more shuffle. You ready? Here we go. Happy full moon to you fuckers. Yeah, it's 12:49, so it's way after midnight, but that's okay. It's still a full moon. Here we go, Gemini. Oh, shit. Gemini is all about making moves right now. If you're moving, whether your business or your home, I'm seeing a move. I'm seeing balance. This is a major card, so I have the Strength card, which talks to me about, I don't know, finding that balance in your life. I'm also picking up the Page of Wands, which means education, schooling, certificates, knowledge. So if you're working on your business in such a way that you want to increase your knowledge base or your arsenal. So this is your toolbox. Right now you're working on your toolbox. So this has to do with schooling. It may not necessarily be going back to school, but it's definitely going to be about like bringing what you went to school for forward or using the skill set that you've learned. You've had a rough week or a rough like time lately because I'm getting the Tower card, which talks to me about like you feel like things are falling apart. Ultimately, this boils down to miscommunication, which tells me that, you know what, you're not really good at talking about what you need or what you want. Your skill set's amazing. You're working too hard, too fast, too much. I'm also picking up the Moon, which, I mean, the Moon card talks about like where she's been and where she's going and fear. But ultimately, like the Moon card is telling me that you've done your map. Like you've done your... You've done your planning. You're not quite sure where you're going because ultimately you're looking at balance, like where things are coming into play and where they're going. You're almost in the point where like, dude, like where was I at just before this? Hold on. Yeah, Taurus. Taurus is in the hiding out mode. Like you're right behind, like right after them. So it's kind of almost like they're checking out and you're thinking about it. The biggest thing that's a problem for you right now is tension, anxiety, nervousness, and short tempers. Like a little bit of short temper. I also see you meeting a grip of new people. Like you're fucking meeting new people right and left. I'm also picking up speed. Like I'm seeing that your pace is going really fast, but you're loving it and it's great. Ultimately, we have the Moon card, which is all fucking... Ooh, I'm cussing. You'll be all right. So this all has to do with like balance, everything coming into place and things that you've worked for and putting in alignment have come to play. But ultimately, even though you've put them into play, you now have decisions to make like, whoa, I set this up and here's what's next. You have the Fool card. So that's it's one of my favorites. I talk about it all the time. So the Fool card is, to me anyways, essentially has to do with like crossroads, right? Crossroads. So this is the Scarecrow. Scarecrow's chilling in his cornfield. Things are great. He's got his crows, and it's warm, and it's sunshiny, and everything's in abundance. But then along comes Dorothy, and she's talking about like this big adventure and a wizard and yellow brick roads and things to do. And you're just like, I don't know. I could kind of stay right where I'm at, or I could go on this adventure. So ultimately, the Fool card doesn't talk about where you're going. It talks about that moment. Like that moment of deciding, right? I'm also picking up the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups talks to us about emotions. Like when you make decisions lately, it all feels emotional. Like there's so much behind it. It's not just simply, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and here it is on paper. Like ultimately, Gemini, I'm feeling like you're emotionally vested in all the projects you have on. going on. But your decisions are going to be life-changing the next little bit. So tread softly. And don't let your emotions rule your decisions. It might not be a bad idea to check out. Like I have the Hangman. Put yourself in purgatory for a while. Like spend some time thinking. Spend some time like evaluating. But ultimately the Page of Wands talks to us about like building your house and setting your foundation. The problem that I'm also picking up for you, and I feel like it's a problem, is that you got a lot of travel or inattention. So because you can't be present in the work that you're doing, I'm feeling like that you have a little inattention going on to it. You have a lot of celebration going on in your next like week or so. So I'm seeing celebration or water, new connections, new relationships. See, Page of Coins, Queen of Cups. Like, so a lot of emotions are coming up with what your decisions are lately. Skill set's amazing. Figuring out your monetization. King of Wands, like you're really good at what you do. All right, Gemini, let's see. I don't know. Don't be so defensive. Like, you know your standpoint. You don't have to prove it to just everyone. All right, kids. Well, that was fun. This is my Mystic Dreamer deck. This one talks to us about emotions, relationships, feelings. Let's see where you're going. All right, Gemini, this is you. Relationships, family, emotions. So meanwhile, as I shuffle here, go ahead and comment when you're done. Let me know where you're from, where you at, where are you watching me in the world. Also, give me some feedback on how you feel your reading went. So here we go, Gemini. This is all you. Ooh, shit. Oh. All right, so unfortunately, I'm picking up there's a lot of drama going on in your relationships right now. All right, Gemini. Five of Swords talks to us about sneaky behavior. So there's someone in your life that's not quite honest. I'm not saying they're dishonest, but I'm saying that they're not being honest. They may have like an inability to express themselves, or they may also just be genuinely being sneaky because of extenuating circumstances. I do feel like the Hermit coming up in this deck tends to talk about evidence. He's got knowledge all around in the Tree of Life. He's got the knowledge. He's got light. He's got a magnifying glass and books. So this is something that if you do suspect that someone is misbehaving, there's plenty of evidence all around you. Ultimately, the biggest thing that you're worried about is that you want things to go back to the way they used to be. Don't be so rigid in your expectations. I think you could be a little militant. Because right now you're ready to walk away from everyone. Look at regret. These two cards. Walking away. So this card is she's like, she can't enjoy what she has because she's looking at what she has going on in the past. But ultimately there's a bunch of regrets going on with emotions and choices. This is going to cause you to go into a little bit of a depression. And because you're feeling hopeless, lost, and a little depressed, you're going to tend to snap and lash out at people around you. Be cautious of that. We don't be a dick. Like, don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. Don't do it. Like, this is my bitch card. One of my psychics told me, she said, that's a woman who knows her own mind. No, we all know when we're going to be a bitch. Like, we all know when we have to take that hat on, or when we have to be an asshole, or we have to tell someone off. Like, ultimately, this feeling right here of being hopeless, frustrated, and stuck and having no faith is causing us to have a little bit of an attitude. So Gemini, like, be cautious. Family fights. I'm seeing family fights. I'm also picking up, like, I don't know, are you paying someone back for money that you owe? This one I don't like. This one represents divorce for some of you that are coming to a crossroads that is ultimately what you're thinking about. Everything that's going on with your relationships tends to feel like a burden lately, like you're carrying too much. Yeah. Oof. So you're also feeling a little defensive and regret. Wow. All right, look here. Gemini. Substance abuse, lies, confusion, insomnia, lack of sleep. Some of the things that are going on in your life are just like, you need a reading. You're the first one that came up with like super complicated shit. So ultimately, like, your attitude is going to get firing. You feel like you're in between stuff. Yeah. There's apologies to be had all around. I'm sorry. Look here, Gemini. If you want a reading, you guys got a lot going on. You're the first one. You're the first one that's really showed up with a little bit of drama. So anyways, tell me where you are in the world. Hit me up if you want a reading. Find me in Vegas. Karma Connection, Karma on Deck. Email me. Thanks for joining me on this full moon. I'll see you next time. Lots of content coming up. I have some tarot instruction videos. I have some myths and urban legends videos. Anyways, lots of content coming up. Stay tuned. Subscribe. I'll see you soon. Happy full moon.